Hi everybody, Mr. Meadows here. I heard from your teachers that you are learning about volcanoes, earthquakes, and the Ring of Fire this week. I got pretty excited because even though I live in Maryland like you all, I spent almost 6 years living in places along the Ring of Fire. During that time, I got to see a volcano from my front yard and experience some pretty scary earthquakes. I asked your teachers if I could share some of my experiences, and they were nice enough to let me join your class today. I also miss you guys, so I thought this would be a good way to say hello. So today, I'm going to tell you about my life
in the Ring of Fire.
First off, let me tell you where I lived on the Ring of Fire. From 2008 to 2013, I lived in Costa Rica. It is a country in Central America. It is right along the Ring of Fire. So here's Maryland, and here's Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, I had a lot of reminders that I was living in the Ring of Fire. Let me tell you about some of them. One thing you can find a lot of in Costa Rica are volcanoes. Costa Rica has a lot of active volcanoes. One of them, Volcan Torrealba, was visible every day as I walked out my front door, jumped on my motorcycle, and drove off to work. The volcano was about 25 miles away, so luckily I wasn't in any immediate danger. Some days I would just see a little smoke and ash rising to the sky, but other days, like in this picture, there would be a whole lot of smoke and ash coming out. The people who lived closer to the volcano often found everything around them covered in ash. The scariest thing I experienced, though, was earthquakes. Sometimes they were small, but there were also some big ones too. I'm from Maryland, and it is very rare to have earthquakes here. So I experienced my first earthquake in Costa Rica. That wasn't the scariest moment, though. The scariest moment was when I was teaching one of my 4th grade classes, and an earthquake struck. I was teaching math, like I always did every day, and then all of a sudden, the room started to rumble, and all the students froze. Sometimes an earthquake will just shake a little bit and stop quickly, and we're waiting to see if that's what was going to happen. However, this time, it did not happen. The room started shaking more violently. Books started to fall off the shelves, and pencils and pens rolled off the desks. The school building had 2 floors, and the classes on the lower level ran out onto the lawn. My class was on the 2nd floor, so we couldn't do that. I looked up and saw that the lights that were hanging from the ceiling were starting to swing back and forth. I told all the students to get under their desks because I was scared that the lights were going to come down crashing onto someone's head. After about 30 seconds of shaking, the room stopped. Everyone was okay, but the room was a bit of a mess with things that had fallen down. We all walked onto the playground because no one wanted anything over their head at that moment. Many of the students started crying. People in Costa Rica are pretty used to earthquakes, but the big ones are always pretty scary. I did experience some other earthquakes, but that was definitely the worst one. If you have any questions about earthquakes or volcanoes, you can ask me in the discussion below. Also, I know some of you come from Central American countries and you have maybe experienced an earthquake yourself. If you have, you can even share your experience in the space below, and you can either type it or you can do an audio comment. Either one, I would love to hear it, and if you have any questions, I will get back to you with an answer. Thank you for letting me share.